Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever part of the world you guys in. I think it's about maybe 2 days I didn't put up any videos, or maybe 3 days if I'm not mistaken. But um, it doesn't mean that I'm not praying and I'm not worshiping God. Just came from church. Today's a blessed day. Not because I've done anything special, but because of the grace of God. And I just want to share with you guys. I know there's so much of us out there that's so lonely, and we so much want to have relationships. Everyone wants to have a relationship, and it's not a bad thing actually, because God created us to have relationships. You know, God is a God of relationships, but sometimes we want to stay in relationships that's poisonous to us. We feel like if we keep doing like maybe the right thing with the person we're with, or if you pray enough, or you talk to God more often, or you do something, that the relationship will get better. But remember, if a couple is not praying together, not worshiping God together, not serving God also, period, is not going to work, because one person may want to get married and the other person's relationship is not ready, and because of that, the lack of relationship actually exists. The relationship does not exist if two people are looking for different things. It'd be hard to have a relationship when you're not on the same level, basically. And I know there's so much of us, like I said, I want a relationship, but I used to think being single was a bad thing, because I was in a relationship and I wasn't single for a long time, and the singleness was not by choice. But now that I am single, I actually enjoy being single, because it makes me know who I am as a person. I got to find myself in the pain of the disappointment of the relationship. So sometimes when we lose someone, we gain something else, and I gained so much more than I ever thought I would being without the person, or not being in a relationship, that I would if I was in a relationship. Because now that I look back and I think about a lot of past relationships, not just specific ones, but just all. And that's the thing about life. We have to learn from the relationships that we're in and the people. And sometimes like I said, you so want it to work, you would basically give your breath to a person just to have a place with them, or just to be connected with them. But I'm telling you, if you're single, I know a lot of people say you're single, there's something wrong with you. No, I found myself being single. I found myself, like, true self, being single. So that's what I'm saying. When you're out of a relationship, you also find yourself in a relationship with yourself, and you learn who you are, you love who you are, and you accept it, and you move forward, because the fact is, I got closer to God. So the relationship that I lost physically, I gained spiritually, and it does not equal the spiritual relationship I have is so much worth the one that I was in. And that just tells me right there, sometimes people get moved out your life, you don't even know why, and it hurts to your core, realistically, because you so want it to work and it doesn't, and you don't even see the pain that you're being put through, because you so want to be there. But when the person get removed out your life, and you're there all by yourself, you say, man, you take a pause and you say, I never knew I would feel this happy being by myself. And I'm not saying for people to go ahead and dump the people they're with, or don't be in a relationship. I'm just saying, if you find yourself not in a relationship, don't beat yourself up. Learn to love yourself, with yourself, by yourself, out of a relationship, because the reality, I'm getting, tongue-tied. The reality of it is, relationships is a lot of work. It's not an I thing. And a lot of people get into relationships saying, yeah, they're ready, and then when they get into it, they don't do things that's equal or good or tangible, for the relationship to work. They still want to think I'm single when they're not single. So realistically, until you're really ready to be in a relationship, don't kid yourself, don't kid the person. Life is very precious. People's time is precious. Maybe the person who you are, maybe your life is not precious, but the person you with, life is precious. Everyone's life should be precious, but some people do not value their life. And because they don't value their life, they don't value other people's life. That's what I'm saying. If you're not sure you want a relationship, don't get into one and pretend that you want it, because the person you're with wants a relationship, and you're wasting their time. Because the reality of it is, whatever you don't want, someone else will always want it. And people who don't change the good nature of yourself and the good heart that God has given you because someone has hurt you. When someone hurts you, they devalue themselves. They don't devalue you as a person. So learn that. Remember, when someone leave you and hurt you, they devalue themselves. It doesn't devalue you. You're still the same old person. They're the one who fail to understand you. They're the one who fail to love you the way you're supposed to be loved. So don't get it confused. Most of us need to get into relationships with God, spiritual relationships. When you learn spiritual, holy relationship, you will know how to love someone else. Because the reality of it, some of us out there don't know how to love at all. I mean, I've seen it happen so many times. Some of us do not know how to love at all. And because we don't know how to love, we don't know how to give love. And because we don't know how to give love, we don't know how to treat people well. And it's very sad, but sometimes you can't even be mad at people for lacking who they are. But wisdom is knowledge, and some people don't want to take the time to learn what they need to learn in order to be a better person or to have a better relationship. They want everything to be right there, right away, right now, and it doesn't work that way all the time. So you have to learn that everything is about timing, and everything is about working towards it. You will never find a perfect person. You will never find a perfect person or a perfect relationship. God put imperfect people together to work through the whatever it is that's lacking, whatever it is that you lack. He puts you with someone that has it so you can learn from each other. But like I said, people want everything to be right away. No one put the energy and time in it to have a relationship. In order to have a good relationship, you have to have patience with some people. Because some people, they do lack knowledge, do lack wisdom, and because they don't have that inner spiritual relationship, they lack understanding and love. And when someone say they love you and they treat you unkind, they don't love you. It's not love. Be in a relationship with yourself. Learn to love you. Learn to value who you are first before you say you want to love someone else. Because the reality of it is, a lot of us are not there yet, but we want a relationship. And I tell people all the time, they say, oh, you're beautiful. Why are you not in a relationship or something? Because I am in a relationship. I'm in a spiritual relationship. I'm in a holy relationship, and I feel good. I have found myself. I'm happy. God has given me so much. He has placed me in a place of grace and peace, and I don't want to lose that if I get into a relationship again. Until I find a spiritual person and a match for me, I'm not going to submit myself just to have someone next to me. We put too much emphasis on sex. We put too much emphasis on impure things just to have someone next to us, and it's not right. That's not what God created us for. And because we ourselves do not know who we ourselves are broken and we're lost, and we end up picking up things and people and bad habits that is not right. That's not good spiritually. It's not good spiritual food for ourselves, and we end up losing ourselves. A lot of us would serve God and get in a relationship and stop serving God because the person we're with is not a person that serves God. They don't have a relationship with God. So we lose ourselves trying to mend ourselves with this person, and that's the worst thing you can do. Never lose your faith, yourself, your holiness, the spirit that's in you for a human being. It's not worth it. God love is worth more than any love you can ever get from this earth. So being in a relationship is a wonderful thing because God created it. But know that if the relationship is not healthy physically, spiritually, emotionally, there's no need to be in it, because there's some people that will suck the daylights out of you. They will suck the life literally out of you. They will suck out the happiness, the strength, the wisdom, the knowledge, everything you have obtained positively. You will be in a relationship and someone will literally suck it out of you because they're negative. There's some people who can't help being negative. It's like because whatever environment they were prior to, or the people they hang around, or the relationship they had before you, they are negative. And it's like they go from relationship to relationship being negative. And no matter how hard you try to treat the person well or show them, they will not find themselves because they're still in that mindset. They're still in that mindset. And this is why we ourselves have to know who we are before we get into a relationship with people. Don't waste people's time. Don't devalue others people's time because you don't value your own time. So we really need to understand that being in a relationship is a precious thing. It is very precious because you get to share whatever time you have on this earth with someone you truly love, and they truly love you. And if someone say they love you and they don't worship God, they don't speak to God, you don't have to go to church to serve God. It's a holy place to go to. That's where God dwells with all the people, and the people make up the church. You can have church in your house. You can pray every day in your house. You can wake up. You can have a small service at your house with a family member, and it's still church. But some of us go to church and we are the worst sinners. Some of us go to church. We talk about, yes, God, this and love, but we don't know how it is to love anyone because we don't treat people well. We're Judas. We're jealous of other people. When you truly love, it means that you love like God, because God is love. He's love. He's kindness. He's everything that's good. And if you're doing bad stuff, then you don't know God and you don't love. You don't know what love is. So learn to be in a relationship with yourself and know who you are first before you get in a relationship with someone, because truly we go out there, we try to make a relationship and we don't know the people. We're not learning people. When you get into a relationship in the beginning, you're not learning someone. Everyone has good and bad habits. Learn to grow with each other, learn to accept certain flaws, and learn how to heal and grow with each other, where you can shift and help each other to grow emotionally, spiritually. Because finance is nice, but you can have all the money in the world and be miserable because you're with someone that's miserable. You're with someone that is not in a good place mentally, spiritually. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You're not going to find happiness. It doesn't matter how much cars you have, how much house you have, how many parties you go to, how much money you spend. It don't matter. When you are broken, there's so many people in the world, like I said, that have relationships and they're so unhappy because they don't know who they are. They didn't find themselves yet. Find yourself. Okay, word of advice. Find yourself first before you try giving yourself to someone else. Do not waste people's time. Like I said, life is very precious, and it should be precious to each and every person. But unfortunately, everyone does not look at life that way. And because they don't look at life, like I said, they don't value themselves. And when they don't value, they devalue other people's time. They cannot devalue you as a person, but they devalue your time that you have placed yourself in, your spiritual time, your physical, your emotional. They just break you. So why waste your time and energy to get into something that's not going to uplift you or make you grow or make you a better person? It's so hurts my heart when I see that you're a good person and you get leaded into a bad place because you love someone. You love them so much that you want it to work, that you even started to devalue your character. Our character make us who we are. If you have a good character, you'll be a good person. If you have a bad character, you'll be a bad person. And that's just the reality of it. Your character make up the person. Your spiritual character make up your heart and your soul. Because if you're a good person, you will have a good heart. If you're a bad person and you do bad things, you'll have a bad heart. That means you have a bad spirit. And you're always wishing for bad things to happen to people. But if you truly love and you're a good person and you have a good relationship with yourself and with Christ, then you will be a good person. That's all I'm going to have to say for today, because I know someone needs to hear this. Being by yourself is not lonely. Being by yourself, there's nothing wrong. Being by yourself is probably the best gift you can give yourself if you are not in a relationship. And don't rush to getting one until you know who you are. A lot of us don't know who we are, and we just want to be with someone because we just don't want to be lonely by ourselves. But I have found grace in singleness. I have found peace in singleness. I have found myself. I have found truly my place that God has placed me in. And there's nothing better than that. If I knew at this moment, at this present moment, that I would have obtained all the knowledge, grace, and peace that I have with me right now, man, I don't even know the words to explain. I would have just enjoy things more gracefully. I would have just been more patient. I would have just been more crucially, with my decisions of people and things. I would have just embraced God so much more and so much more sooner. But what I have learned now, I will take it till I die. I will take it to my grave, because God is wonderful. God is wonderful. Acknowledge Him. Acknowledge the relationship you have with God. It's the best relationship you can have. Having physical relationship is so nice, but having spiritual relationship is so much better, because those days that you feel lonely, you can talk to God, and you this peace come over you that I can't even explain. I'm not telling anyone not to be in a relationship. Understand me. I'm not saying not to be in a relationship, but when you find who you are, you have joy, you have peace, and you will know how to love. You will know how to love, because once you love, you're loving like God, because God is love. So know that if you truly found yourself and you know you are, then you truly can give love. But until then, you really cannot give love. That's what I'm saying. Like, so much of us want that relationship, but we don't know who we are yet. And because we don't know, we get into relationships, and we lose. We break other people's spirit. We break ourselves. We dig pits, because reality is you are wasting someone else's time. So learn who you are, then get into a relationship. Get into a relationship, and it will work.